Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. My name is Dr. Dagada, and the primary lecturer of English Teaching for Communication. And the model code is ENC1501. Today, I'm going to make a presentation on Unit 1. Our presentation, I said this model is continuous assessment. In other words, you won't sit for examination at the end of the year. So in this unit, I'm going to present on one introduction. We will also look at the terminologies, the expectations from me when you are done with your module, the aspect of listening, the different components of listening, the sound aspect of listening, formal and informal language, and again, how to write a summary or make notes, and multimodal communication. These are the aspects or the items that I'm going to present in brief. So I just want us to start with terminologies. I'm doing this because I know that some of you are done with assignment number 1. Then you are starting with the written assignment. It is very important to familiarize yourself with the important terminologies, because that's where we will be able to see the art of answering or approaching your questions. And some of the terminologies that you may find are as follows: critically discuss. When you see that terminology, please, we are not saying criticize. We are saying that you have to look at the advantages and the disadvantages of that particular aspect that we have asked you. And in particular, because we talk about the depth of your assignment, that's where you have to also come up with the tangible examples or the experience that you went through when you try to approach the question. The second one is evaluate, when you weigh up the value of theories and idea in the light of the evidence, giving your opinion. Very interesting. That's why we are shifting. We have shifted from where we say you name, you give. Then we want you to evaluate. In other words, when you are studying this module, we want you to go deeper and understand what is it. And analyze, which is give a detailed description, separating it into different parts. And that's where we want you to investigate and assess to show how important or successful it is. Then we also have the modify. I want you to go and look at it, briefly discuss, and then you solve and justify, which is give evidence of the particular point of view, but then anticipating counter arguments. If sometimes we say that you are talking, and the examine, which is to look closely into the particular issues. But in a nutshell, because this is what I've realized, when you answer the question in the continuous assessment, please provide us with examples that's you support, and then that part of the assignment, it will make value, and then you can earn a good marks for that. Now, looking at Unit 1, the importance of listening skills. We know that we have hearing and we have listening, but this unit focuses on listening, not hearing. Why? Because hearing is the ability that most of us, so to say, is born with. So we cannot study about something that you are born with. Then this unit focuses on the listening, which is a skill, and it's very important to master that skill. So after completing this module, I as the primary lecturer, I want you to have a knowledge of language, literacy, and know how to teach learners to read and write. Recently, there is a report whereby it says that 82 or 84% of our students in grade 4, they cannot read. And this is, it sent an alarm, it is an alarming to us as educators. So we are sending you to that Dean of Lions, where you will have to actually organize your systematic language and literacy instruction that approaches with a focus on reading and writing. So if you are here in South Africa, you will be guided by CAPS documents. And if you are out of South Africa, you will use the required curriculum documents that are supplied to you. And be able to demonstrate the knowledge, the skills, and process required to teach the language. Now, let us quickly go to the aspect, which is the attitudes of listening. I just want to be clear with you. I won't be able to give you some examples, because if I do that, if that question is there in the assignment, it means that you will all copy what I will be saying. So I will try to refrain myself from giving you some examples. The aspect of listening, which are they? Number one, that is comments. In other words, we are saying, what is it that you can show that you are listening? If a person is talking, what are you going to do? Number one, you have to show by commenting. You have to show comments. So like when people, when they are talking, then you comment, just to indicate that your attitudes, you are listening. Secondly, you have two questions. For example, though I said that I want to divorce myself from giving you examples, you can say, really, how? So such things, it give a courage to a person who is communicating with you. Number two is summary. We know that sometimes when we're attending conferences, you will sit down and jot down some summary of what that particular person is saying, so that you will be able to follow. And another one is focusing on the issues. That's why you don't just pick everything. You just pick something that you feel that this is the information that I want. And the last one is taking notes. So as we proceed with this, as continue with this unit, you will see where we will be able to touch some differences between notes taking and summary making. And altogether, at the end of the day, this module, in this unit, you will find that now it talks volume about that. Now, the different components of listening skills, when we talk of the components, that's why I try to color it there. And then we have different components. And here we will be talking about the components referred to the lesson preparation or lesson preparations. And the first one is topic, which dictates all the components of the lesson preparation. You know that by now, I know that you know some of the parts of the components of the lesson preparation. For instance, like the aims, objectives, teachers' activity, learners' activities, resources, and then reflection and assessment. Those are some of the components of the lesson preparation. So it dictates all the other components, as I've already alluded to you. And your topic mustn't be too broad, and it has to be specific. Another component is tone, which is the attitudes, the feelings. As a foundation phase teacher, remember to portray love to those kids, care to those kids, so that they will be able to open to you. Then the voice reflects emotions. So remember that you are dealing with young kids in the foundation phase. The tone and intonation, which is the attitudes and emphasis of certain words through volume. And the tone there, we say that is the expressed when we speak, because our voice can present our emotions and intentions. And the intonation is when volume is used to emphasize certain words. I opted to pick up those words or terminology so that you will be able to understand. Then the voices arise in volume when questions are asked. You know it when you go for practicals. I know that you are going to display this thing. The same happen when we stress some words. When we listen, you pay attention to the volume and words that are stressed, because you are teaching the foundation phase learners. They learn when you speak, and they listen when you stress words, when you actually raise your voices. Then those learners, they will grasp everything. Now let's come to the sound aspect of listening. So sometimes what I've realized, some students confuse the sound aspect of listening. So this one is sound aspect of listening, where we have one, the change in volume. And when you listen, you find that now it also comes here, because as you are teaching, definitely your volume should change by stressing some words and a regular vocal rhythm and repetition. In other words, it says that it is important in the foundation phase to display the sound aspects of listening and volume, which makes listeners more alert. And it is also important to change volumes when you are teaching. Then we also have these stressing of words, as I've already alluded to you. It is important to stress phrases that are very important in a discussion or when teaching. And this is linked to the above strategy, which is change in rhythm. Use regular sounds rhythm as a foundation phase. As a foundation phase teacher, you change the rhythm by making it staccato. Those who became those who are actually musicians, they know about staccato. And then the repetition, which is the last one, it takes the listening process easier. It makes the listening process easier when you repeat some phrases, words, and those things. Our learners will quickly grasp what you are saying. The sound effects are effective, and it often appeals to our emotions. Right, let's look at the formal and informal language. This one, I won't dwell much on it, because I just want to go and you sometimes Google those formal and informal languages. I was trying to Google, and there are a lot of facts that are written under formal and which are written in formal language. So you will have to look at those, the difference between the two, like the formal language rules of grammar, and informal language there's no rules. Those who stay in Kasi or whatever, they use that kind of language, the jargon kind of language. Then it will assist you when you are writing the maybe proposal as you go forth with your education, and actually help you to actually communicate with other maybe senior managers and all those things. You can use informal language. Right. Now, how to write a summary or make notes, and which is all the aspects mentioned above need to be kept in mind when we compile a summary or notes of an audio text to which we listen. For example, a summary or notes are not only a shortened version, because this is what comes to our mind, that it is just a shortened version. Let me just do it. No, it allows a critical understanding of words as the speaker will be talking. A summary, take a fat body and reduce it to a skeleton. It makes sure that the important information or idea are retained, though it is a summary, but the most important idea is retained. So on the other hand, it's note making or note taking, which is a little difference because it includes more details. It focuses on certain aspect of the original passage, extract of the speech. It can also provide an interpretation, analysis, or evaluation of the main ideas. Right. Now let's conclude with this one, the multimodal communication, which sometimes gives students some challenges. But the multimodal communication, that is a way of using different modes when you communicate with your students or with your kids or learners, and this means that we use language, gestures, postures, and other nonverbal modes. And we can also use facial expressions, voices to express the emotions attached to the ideas. So I just want to send you to the, when you will be doing practical, please, because I have summarized this unit 1, try to use some of the things that I have explained it to you. See if it works or not. And at the end of the day, you will see, you will benefit, you will see how to actually be creative when you are teaching. More especially, you know that in this module, it equips you to be a better teacher, a better listener, a better speaker, and to be creative. So thank you very much for listening to this presentation, and thank you, and God bless you.